Hello, good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing? Just before we get going, someone is having setting off fireworks at the back here. So if you hear loud bangs, that is why, because it's quite loud. So how's everyone been doing? Yeah, I've been doing okay this week. We'll get on to everything in just a minute. Let's hi Mark, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Dave, evening. And Dee as well. Hi Dee. Yeah, so what's been going on this week? Not a lot really. I've been fairly busy, so I've been back in the office this week. So well, actually this month I'm back in the office. So so I haven't been doing too much. I've been a bit busy doing that, and then not having too much time at home. So haven't done anything this last week. This week though, there's a fair bit coming up. So the Alien build is back. So I'll be doing the Alien build this week. And then obviously other ones. Got this to do on Monday. So that came this week. So I'll be doing that on Monday. Yeah, so that's what. So yeah, I'm back in the office at the moment. So I haven't been able to do as many videos as I would like, but I'm hoping this week I'm going to put out a few videos. Haven't done any live gaming videos neither because of that as well. I've been sort of getting home sort of late afternoon, evening, and haven't really had the urge or the sort of need to do it really. So I will get back on them this week, hopefully. So hi John, how's it going? Thanks for joining us, and Scott as well. Thanks. Hi Scott, how's it going? Crafty Chris, how's it going? Nice to have you here. Jay, hiya. Sorry for the messages. I didn't realise you were live. That's all right. Don't worry about it. Hope everyone's doing well. Everyone's doing fine, mate. Yeah, very well. Yeah. Oh, and I've got some more information, Jay, as well about the TT thing that we were talking about this morning. I've watched a few more videos today and found out a bit more information as well. And there's these one. Yeah, so I've been back in the office this month for obvious reasons. So I've been a bit busy than what I would normally do. So basically, I normally work from home, but this month I'm having to work in the office. So I haven't had as much time at home as I would normally have Monday to Friday, but I'm setting some time away. Like I said, I've got to do this review on Monday, so this will be coming out on Monday. All works. So we'll have a look at that. Also, the Alien build's back as well now, and we've got the others as well. You know, the Dodge Charger and the Doll's House as well. That's why this week there's been no live stream. So no live stream videos. And the videos that I have done have come out later in the evening as well, just because I haven't been here during the day, which I normally am. So a little bit of change for me, a little bit of change for the channel. But I'm hoping this week there'll be a few more videos, some live stream gaming videos. So yeah, and then going forward, it's just finding that balance again to do stuff. So yeah. Just trying to get back into the swing of things, really. Yes, my wallet is seeking a divorce. Yeah, well, the amount of stuff coming out. Just want to point on that. Me and Jay were talking about the TT120 scale and if it will be compatible with the US and Europe. And the information I got today was it will be, and that is one of the reasons why they've done it. So 00 scale is more. It's the universal scale for the UK, and Europe. The universal scale in Europe is the TT scale, and in the US as well. The problem is the two of them ain't compatible, but apparently this one is going to be compatible with both of them, and I don't know what that means. But they've done it so it's a more universal scale than the 00, and they've also brought it out because of space as well. So yeah, so all good. So yeah, I'm getting very excited for it. Just got to wait for the stuff to turn up now, and then we can get cracking on it. But like I said, that'll be next year. Now I think the sets are due out just before Christmas, and I won't get into it then. So it will definitely be next year now. In terms of part works, it is very, very quiet at the moment. I've noticed it's gone very quiet in Europe and very quiet for us as well. I'm quite surprised we haven't had any more test runs. I would have thought they might pump out a few more, and they haven't. So maybe they're doing it in December time. But with what's happening financially at the moment, there could be some sort of something on the horizon. Maybe, I don't know, but I mean, I don't want to get in the doom and gloom of everything, because that's not really what my channel is. But I am a realist, so I always make sure that when I tell you stuff, it's what I've been told is what I've been told, and we come here to tell it as it is, really. So if just to run you down, if you don't know, the UK is in recession, and we are going to be in recession until the end of 2024. Normally, when the last recession hit, which is in 2008, there was a little bit of the pulling on the old purse strings and stuff. A lot of businesses went out of business, obviously, and sort of hobbies took a bit of a bashing, really. Not only that, normally when we went into recession last time, there was a big emphasis on growth. So they gave us, what they took that away, and they done other little perks and stuff like that. But this time round, they're not doing that. In fact, they're going to tax us. And yeah, it's worrying times at the minute. Things. So if you own a home, and if you're earning more than £50,000 a year as a household, yeah, it's gonna squeeze you like nothing you've ever seen before. It's going to be really, really tough next 2 years. So I'm going to pace myself with the train set. I'm not going to go mad. In terms of part works, like I said, the Optimus Prime is the only one I'd like to build, and if that does come out in France, I will take that on as soon as the Alien finishes. But I think that's it, really. I don't know if there's anyone that I'd really. I mean, Kirsty would like to do the Mormons, the Moomin's house, and the Moomin's house, which has just come out from D'Agostini, and but even she said that can't happen until a part work finishes, and we have to sort of assess where we are financially, just like everybody else, at that point as well. But I am sort of trying to get into other things. So the train set as well, I'm starting to, I've got these to collect, and so I'm sort of branching out slightly on other things. We've got the kids version of these. So these are like the collector's ones. And then they're doing Star Trek Prodigy, which is like based on kids and stuff. My daughter wants to collect them figures, so we are going to review those figures together on the channel. My wife loves Fast and Furious and Avatar, and they've just released a load of new Avatar figures, so we're going to get them and review. Me and Kirsty are going to actually review them together. So yeah, there's a lot coming out. There's still a lot to happen on the channel. Next year is going to be a fun year, I think, channel-wise, because we're going to have the train set here, and we're going to do a lot on that. We're still going to keep part works going, obviously, and it's just going to be a mixture of content on the channel, which is what I always wanted anyway. I never wanted to specifically target all the stuff that I did at one thing, so it's all over the place. Also, it's well noted, if any of you collect any of the Eaglemoss collection stuff, if you collected any of it, you'll be happy to know, if you're in the UK here, B&M stores have bought 85% of Eaglemoss stock. So there's a lot of stock about, and they've already started getting in. They've got Marvel, Star Trek, and Doctor Who stuff at the moment in store. So if there's anything that I need, I will be getting it from B&M and then doing reviews on it. So you'll probably be getting more Eaglemoss reviews, even though they're not about anymore. And I'm hoping actually I'm hoping by the end of this month, we have a bit more information about what collections are being started up and by who. But there's still a lot of stuff to sign off and everything else. So I'm hoping that something gets mentioned about Ecto 1, about the Enterprise D build by the end of the year. I'm hoping, but hoping really for the end of the month, but it may be the end of the year now. But yeah, let's just hope. Let's just hope. Let's go back to here, Jay, and universal couplings as well. Be fun next year. Yeah, apparently that's what the guy at Hornby has been saying. There's a few videos about him talking, and he has actually said that it's going to be a universal set for Hornby. So yeah, it's going to be able to connect with them ones as well, which is really good. It gives us more options. Evening, Roger. How's it going? Thanks for joining us. Apparently, it's over 3 hours long. But I said this to Kirsty. You got to think when they take that number in, they also take in the credits at the end of the film as well. And I would imagine, like the first film, that's probably about 20-25 minutes long, just on some of the credits there. I know they are for the Marvel ones. But yes, I think it's over like 3 hours, well over maybe. Jeff, hi Karen. I'm waiting for RoboCop issue 56 to be released. Nothing has come out for 19 days. Is there a problem with the build? No, there isn't. But I do believe there was a stall period. So they're going through a bit. If you don't know, basically Europe at the moment are going through power blackouts at the moment. I did mention this a couple of weeks ago now on a video on the live stream, actually, that I wonder how that would affect the part works going forward. Seems to be now affecting some of the builds in France, and I would imagine that might continue. But yeah, keep it on there. It's not stopped. It's not finished or anything like that. I know it's still there, so there's no sort of worry about it. What you might find is that they might release a few issues together, 2 or 3 together. So it's worth keeping an eye out for that. But yeah, I'm not that far into the build yet. I'm going to continue my RoboCop build next year. So that's something else that I'm going to be doing. So yeah, I know. I'll wait for it to come out on Sky. Yes, yeah. Hi Kev, trying to start a build from France site you use, but issue 10 is sold out. But if you go on issue 9, I can pre-purchase from issue 10. So what does that mean? I'd still get issue 10 that's sold out. I've never done the pre-purchase before. I think the pre-purchase is basically it basically gives you that issue as soon as it comes into stock. That's what I believe that is. You can pre-purchase or pre-issue the orders that you need, and then if they're out of stock, I believe once they're in stock, it charges you, and then they sort of post it to you, sort of thing. I think, but I've never done that. I've never done that before, so I believe that's what it is. Hi Peter, evening. It's nice to have you here. Good evening. I'm hoping to finish Ecto 1 and Enterprise, and we'll be concentrating on my Hornby Railway build. Yep, just like me. I'm like I said, next year is when it's going to be. I'm heavily into it. I've pre-ordered the set already, which there was a few things different about that set. So firstly, it's been marketed as a Mallard and the Flying Scotsman. It's not. That's not the Mallard or a Mallard design, and that's not the Scotsman either. It's not the Flying Scotsman, though both of those trains are available separately. But it doesn't matter. I thought it was the Scotsman. It's labelled as the Scotsman, but I always thought it was the Flying Scotsman. It's not. and the Easter, I think it's called, is labelled as a mallard, but it's not. I'm sure by the time I get the train set here and it's all set up, I'm sure that I will know the terminations and all the names of the units and stuff like that, and get quite into it really. But yeah, there's a lot to get my head around really, especially over the electrics and that, which you'll see me do, and we'll have fun with doing that. But yeah, good to see you. And Peter, say hello to everyone. Yeah, so next year there's still going to be stuff about whatever happens with the Hornby side, with me doing like figure reviews and all that sort of stuff. My channel's always still going to be about Partworks. So even if we do all these Partworks and I'm not doing Partworks, my channel will still have that Partwork element. We'll still talk about it. I still have my contacts. I still have a lot of like I say, a lot of contacts in the industry. So I still understand what's going on and that. So yeah. But yeah, getting on to the Partworks thing, I talk with a friend of mine about Partworks all the time because he does them as well. And yeah, he said it. Is it with the really bad things that are going to happen economically as well, but also to our wallet. So the next year or two, could we see another Eaglemoss? Was what he asked, and I said, I hope not. But we were all sitting in this place before where we were all shocked with what happened with Eaglemoss. And you could have put it down to bad customer service or bad this or bad that. But ultimately, I never ever thought in a million years, just like their employees, that it would collapse. And you ask those questions to people that used to work for, say, Blockbusters or Woolworths or BHS. None of them said or would have said this company's never going to collapse. So I would say to that, which is what I said to him, was never say never, and to be very careful. Hachette they're like the global players in Partworks, and so IXO. So Jagstein have been there for years as well. I said what would most likely happen, which I think will happen over the next 2 years, is they will pull back some of their Partworks. So I've been doing Partworks since 2009, 2010, around that sort of time, when I was doing the Agostini Formula One car. That's when I really started doing them, and I have never known there to be as many companies and as many Partworks out than ever. It's just absolute overload. And you say what you want, but I believe that Partworks is a very niche market. It's a very niche market. I've said this before on the channel as well. If you go into a model shop, actual modeling with plastic or resin or something like that, and you mention Partworks, it's like a dirty word. You don't talk about Partworks here, sort of thing. It's not classed as, it's really bad, but it's not classed as real modeling in the aspect of, I mean, lots of people do the mods now, obviously, Partwork upgrades, obviously, and stuff like that, which turns them into thingy, but it's still a very niche market. And like I said, it's completely flooded at the moment. I mean, the amount of Partworks that are out at the moment, I've never seen anything like it. So going back to what we were talking about, could you see another Eaglemoss? And the answer is, yeah, I could, but I don't think that will happen. I think like I said, what would happen is, I think a lot of them will stop pumping out as many. And I think a lot of the test builds that we've seen in France, and even some we've seen here, probably won't ever come out. Things like the Hogwarts Express, the Harry Potter Hogwarts Express. Though I really wanted it, and I've spoken to Hachette, and they were sort of like, "Oh yeah, it's come in," and we were told different things all the time. I don't see that coming out. The King Tiger, another one. I don't really see coming out. There's been no mention of it. It's gone very quiet. Though it tends to do that right near before coming out. Starsky and Hutch actually was another one. The Gran Torino. It's not shown up, and I think they've near enough finished it now in France. It's one of those ones that I don't know if they will say, whether they will green like that or not. You've also got the Alien build. I generally think the Alien build will come out, but it also depends on the economy and them looking at it and thinking, is it economically valuable for them to do? Because I think going forward, a lot of these builds are going to go up in price. And if they go up in price and we've got less money to spend, there's that counterbalance there, which is going to be a bit skewed. So it will take time. I'm the same complete novice. Yeah, we'll do it together, Roger, because about the train set. Yeah, we'll do it together because I'd love to have built one years ago, but when I was a kid and all that sort of stuff, as you do. Space was a big thing, so I'm sorted on that. But it's the daunting things when you start doing this and you look into it. It's the electrics, it's the power, it's the point system, it's wiring it properly, and then it's putting street lights in and all of that. It's going to be fun, but I think once I've done the electrics, which I think is the biggest headache of any train set, I think we'll be golden after that. And then we can start getting done on the scenery and some of the fun stuff. Remix, okay. I take it you won't be doing the Infinity Gauntlet from France. No. I might have done it if circumstances have changed. But no, I would prefer to do the Optimus Prime over that. It's another one I don't know if or when we'll ever get it here in the UK. You've got to think, they're not expecting growth here in the UK until the end of 2024. We're not at the end of 2022 yet. It's a long way away. And they've just and the Gauntlet have only just started up again. There are some really good, actually, 1-to-1 scale Gauntlets out there already, should I say. I think Sideshow do one, and Hot Toys. Both of them are under £1,000. Now this one you're going to be building if it comes out in the UK, it's going to be pushing 1,500-1,600 quid. So yeah, there's other options to buy the Gauntlet. It's not something that's unique, if you know what I mean. You can go to Hot Toys, and I think Hasbro did a I think it was a Black Series one or something like that, where they did one as well. I don't know if that was real scale though, because obviously this one is real scale, but Hot Toys and Sideshow definitely did one, which also lights up and makes noises and stuff. But no, at the moment it's a no, but you never know, things could change. I'm giving my sore hands a break after doing 52 of the Volkswagen and 58 of Eddie in the last 2.5 days. Yeah, I would as well, Peter. That sounds like a thingy. They had a bad rep. Yeah. It's very expensive market, but also very addictive. It is indeed. Yeah, massively. I totally agree with that, Peter. But I think the pricing is just going to go up, because obviously it's like the worst it could ever be, they've said. And obviously I deal with figures and numbers and all that for work, so I'm all over this. But yeah, they said it's never been this bad. The last time it was this bad in terms of growth and taxes and all that sort of stuff was in 1955 for the UK. So even when it was, if anyone remembers back then, I don't, but obviously my dad and that does, remembers back when, you know, back in the 80s when we had Black Friday and all that sort of stuff, and everyone thought it was really bad, and we went through a recession in the 80s and it was really bad. This is worse. This is like 100 times worse. So that just shows you how bad it's going to get. I don't really like dwelling on it too much, but it's something you can't sort of pull the wool over people's eyes. You have to sort of face this because it's going to hit us all of us, no matter our, you know, financial circumstances. It's gonna hurt us all. But we just got to weather it, and we've done it before, so we'll do it again. But yeah, it is a very expensive market, but also very addictive, and it totally is. Hi, afternoon, Kev. How's your day going so far? Are you going to do Hachette, the black panel from the Pirates of the Caribbean? You're the greatest and smartest advisist. Thank you for that. I'm so excited about the TT120. I'm just so looking forward to this next year. It's going to be the first class, if you pardon the pun. Yeah, I'm really excited for it. Yeah, there's a lot there. I'm going to be using a lot of the stuff from Hornby and Pico, but I'm also going to do some scratch building stuff as well. I've been looking at a lot of the YouTube channels that do the scratch building for the 00 scale, which looks really good. So scratch building buildings and platforms and stuff like that, and it looks really fun. And I want to do some scratch building for it, so that's also going to be fun too. When is the Infinity Gauntlet out in France? It's not on the website yet. No, it's not on the website yet. It's already out. I believe it's come back out, I should say. And I think subscribers over there have got up to issues 3 or 4. I would imagine it would be on there before Christmas, but don't quote me on that. But it should be on the site soon. It's just starting to phase through again. In France, what they tend to do is when they release it, especially D'Agostini or Ataya, I think that's what it's called, over there, what they do is they send the subscribers the first 6 or 7 issues, and then that's when it hits like the newsstands over there. So yeah, and then it reverts backwards. I don't know why, but it sort of reverts backwards where the newsstands gets it beforehand. So oh right, I've got to go back. Right, okay, sorry. I'm going to stick to simple layout until I go into something. Yeah, I'm going to do the track mat system first. So that's the track mat system that you get with it, and then you buy the track packs to attach to it to create the set. And I'm going to use that, and then I'm going to add on to that and take some bits out and add on to that. But obviously, I'll know a lot more once it's here. Kenneth, what was that? Hang on a second. Right. How's your day going so far? I'm going to someday do Hachette, the Black Pearl from Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm not, no. It was a build that was done a long time ago. It came out a long time ago. I remember it because it was in the shops and that, but no, it's not something I was going to do. I think Eaglemoss was going to re-release that, just like they did with the Titanic. And yeah, it obviously never come out, but never say never. A lot of these old builds tend to come back out again. So yeah. Can't be a test for railway layout, and looking forward to having a go. Like I said, maybe some collaboration in the future. Hoping members be here soon. Yeah, some of the packs. Yeah, I know the train sets come out. This is what I've found out. The train sets come out before Christmas, and then nothing comes out until April, May time. Nothing. And then I think it's a few locos and tracks and all that sort of stuff comes out around April, May time. So there's going to be a big period where there's nothing really coming out unless Pico start pumping out some bits. But I want to get the track packs before I go around fiddling about with all of that sort of stuff. So and the Red Hat Baron fighter plane. No, no, none of that. Like I said, the only part work I'm very interested in doing at the moment that I've seen that was tested last year is Optimus Prime from DeAgostini. It's the movie Optimus Prime, so it's not the one from Agora. But we'll see. I had all three of the red gauntlets from Hot Toys, but the building one will be more enjoyable. Yeah, I mean, it all depends on what you would like and stuff like that. I don't think the Hot Toys one was die cast, and I think that's where the difference is. The one that's coming out from DeAgostini is die cast. Obviously, all the outer sections and panels are all die cast, so there'll be some really heavy weight in it. And I don't think the Hot Toys one is. I think it's plastic. So still, fair size to it and accurate. It's just not die cast, which I think maybe that's where the money comes to it. I'm sure if it was die cast, Hot Toys did a die cast one, I'm almost certain it would be the same sort of price, if not more. So yeah, there's that to it. Rating for Ecto 1 and Enterprise. I'm missing modelling loads. Yeah, I mean, I'm hopeful that something. We know that something's happened, but an announcement would be an official announcement and website and all that sort of stuff would be nice before Christmas. And then maybe get all that sorted and then start pumping out the parts after Christmas. That's what I'm hoping. But you never know. You never know. I would hope for something to be announced before the end of the month. We'll have a look. We'll have to see how it all pans out. But Ben Robinson did post to say that the majority of the part works have been picked up and they will be by various companies. So that's really good news to know. That, but it does mean that there won't be a central place that we'll be getting these from. They'll be from lots of different companies. But it's good. It's good. It's good. But once again, do they risk bringing all that out and then new builds as well? Because there'll be a lot of builds from Eaglemoss that would need to come out so people can finish. Also bringing out new ones as well. Could it flood the market beyond what it's the capacity it's got at the minute? It's an interesting one. It's really interesting. It's going to be very interesting going forward. I'm going to do what I can, go back to work and advise on build Back to the Future DeLorean. I might try my hands on that. Yeah, I done the DeLorean when it first come out. So that was 2017, wasn't it? 2017, 2016, around that time I think it came out. I can't remember now. It was so long ago. And I did it the same time I was doing my R2-D2 as well. And both of them then got re-released, and they're sort of, yeah. But I did them from when they originally were released. DeLorean was, well, it was okay. It looks good. But some of the aspects of the build, like the door hinges, the engine, the piping, I am going to keep going on the wheels. There are problems with it, but overall, it's a good build. Much prefer the R2-D2 build, much more solid. And there were a few issues with that. I'm not disputing that. The projector, getting the dome on as well, while connecting it in. The lead to connect it up is it's quite short, so you sort of have to half attach the dome and plug it in all at the same time, and there's not a lot of room to work in there. The little the lightsaber that pops out his head, that was another bit of an issue I had on mine. It sometimes wanted to work and sometimes it didn't. R2-D2 was the battery pack. If anyone, I remember when it first came out and DeAgostini were going to release a battery pack for it, which they never did in the end. Which was a bit annoying, and you had to go somewhere else. I think it was 1881 or something like that, 1881 batteries. I think it was something like that. Don't quote me on that. But that's where I got my battery pack from. But overall, I'm still very happy with it. It works absolutely perfect. It's probably one of the builds that's, in terms of electric, has lasted this long, really, in terms of functionality, where a lot of other builds I've got, some of the electrics have stopped working or just don't work at all now. So, yeah, I think I found a local railway club that will accept TT scale. After what happened the other day, I don't fancy another ear chewing. Yeah, it's very polarizing, the TT. I think once the TT scale is out and it's fully established, I think there's going to be a lot of people doing this. But a lot of the people that have bought 00 feel betrayed, and you know, it's very polarizing. That's what I found. A pig of a build, the DeLorean. It was a bit of a, yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare. I have to admit that it was an absolute nightmare. There was some really good bits and some really rubbish bits. But yeah, going on to my like with the electrics now, I think the electrics that work on my DeLorean now are the interior ones. The LED, the light, the blue lighting that went round it, that never really worked. Headlights, brake lights, well, they don't work anymore, and they did. So it's the interior lights are the only things that work now. But you know, it's a few years old now, so you know, it is what it is. Would you build the Lego McKinney house from Home Alone? The McCowney's house. McCaster, is it? I can't understand. I know it is. I might do. You know what? I've done Lego before, and I really love doing Lego. And so does Kirsty as well. We did a Lego live build of Harry Potter's owl, and it was the smaller one with the mechanism for the wings to flap. And I thought, this is gonna take half hour. 2 hours later, we're still building it. So, but we really enjoy doing stuff like that. So it's an idea that could come to the channel, definitely. I know my daughter has asked. She would like the Friends Lego sets that they do of the apartments. My wife would probably like the Big Bang Theory apartment build as well. There was one Lego build that I would really like to do, and it's trying to get hold of it, and that is the helicarrier from the Avengers. They did this huge build that was obviously the helicarrier from the Avengers. It's not more simple than that, but it was huge, and that is something I would really like, really like. But it was worth it. It was worth it. The DeLorean was, you know, there's a few builds where I'll go, oh, and then afterwards you're like, that is a thing of beauty, and I'm glad I did it. You know, it's one of those ones where, you know, through all the blood, sweat, and tears, and I've said this about many builds, every build that I've built has had problems. Every build. That one had more problems, but I was still really happy with the end result. You know, the Terminator had its problems as well, but once again, really happy with the end result for that. Really happy. You know, and I think the Alien as well has had its problems. Now I can see a lot of people when building this are not going to like it, and there is going to be a lot of swearing and shouting at this. I did, and there's some bits, especially with the hand, not closing up properly, and then because it's so tight, it sticks. You can see it here, and there's no way of getting it back off again. And there was some screaming and shouting over that, I've got to tell you. So yeah, but ultimately it looks really cool, and I know for a fact that once this is built, regardless of how the skin's put together and how it's all glued down and all that sort of stuff, it will still look really good, and I'll be happy with the end result. So you modded yours. Yeah, a lot of people did. You know, it was back at the DeLorean started, you know, came out way before I think a lot of the modelers modded a lot of the stuff. So it was really in that infancy when it first came out, and I don't think there was too many people modding stuff for it, and that's when I think the catalyst was for all the mods that came out for everything since. It all started, I think, from that build where people wanted more accuracy. I remember the Christmas tree, the flux capacitor, that all came out, and that all started from that build. And then other mods came afterwards, but it all started originally, I think, but from that build. So come on, guys, smash that like button. Yeah. Can I ask where you get your wrestling belts from? Yeah, the Euro shop. It's just been taken over, so it's by Fanatics now, but all from the Euro shop. So you can get them on eBay as well, but the majority of the ones that I have all been picked up from, well, I think most of them except my wife's US belt. I think we picked that up on eBay. But you can get them most places. I've stuck some with a Canadian girlfriend who likes wrestling and would love to get something like that. Yeah, they're not cheap. And that's another thing as well. I will be getting more of these, so keep an eye on the channel. I have reviewed them as well, but they're really nice. I need to really start getting some more of them. Oh, Night John, thanks for coming, mate. But yeah, in terms of Partworks, I think it's going to be a bumpy ride next 2 years, but if we can weather that, we should come out with a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. But I could see a lot of these ones that were previewed or tested maybe last year, this year, maybe don't make it for various reasons. There has been a lot of builds that have never made it that I've always thought they should have come out. Hogwarts Express is obviously one of them, but you've had things like the Apollo module as well. They've just done the Saturn spaceship. They've just done as well. They did preview a while ago the ISS as well. That's never come out, which is a shame because I think that would have been a really good build. But you know, you're in the business now where there's a lot of companies about now, and I would say never say never. They're the sort of builds that I think would fit someone like IXO or even Agora could bring out. But yeah, there's, like I said, the Apollo 11 module. I think that's been tested a few times. It's never got on over the line. The ISS I thought was a good one, but that never materialized. We also had, remember, the AT-AT, the Star Wars AT-AT. Once again, that came out at a really bad time. I think 4 issues were supposed to come out because it was a test run. Only 2 ever came out, but that was at the very start of the pandemic. That was like end of 2019. And that's when they started doing lockdowns everywhere. So it sort of suffered from that, I think. We also had the Death Star. Not the Death Star, what was it? The Star Destroyer, that's it. The Star Wars Star Destroyer. Now, that was previewed, and it got a lot of interest, but never materialized. And I was told the next Star Wars build was that. Once again, they might have shelved it for sort of production reasons, too much money, all that sort of stuff, like with most things. Yeah. I want to start the Alien build from France. That's why I was asking you about it. I decided to sell my 4K collection. Oh, right. Okay. I have been told that import fees only get charged if it's over 135. Yeah, I don't really know. I've always been a bit cautious over import fees. So whenever I've done an order, I have always kept it under €100, always. Just to play it safe, really. That's the only reason I've done it, just to play it safe. But I know some people that have done orders which are quite large, and they have been charged import duties. Like I said, I play it safe. I don't know what the threshold is. I was told a few times that there is no threshold, but I think that was before we left the EU. Now we've left the EU, I think there is. But when you go online, well, I know this from ordering stuff from the States and stuff like that. It is a luck of the draw. Sometimes you won't get import fees, and sometimes you do. I have never got import fees on orders under €100 from them. So, and that's how I've always done it, because I didn't want to push it, if you know what I mean. But I know some people that have done the same build, you know, through the same company and everything else, and have been charged import fees, and that has been, and their orders have been over €100. So I don't know what the threshold is on Tool on that, but that's what I've always done. And I've always said it as well. If you're ever going to order something from there, always make sure it's under €100. Always, just to play it safe, really. But it's a really good thing. It works out really well. At the moment, it's not too good because of the exchange rate and how bad it is. But even if you were paying the same price over there, I think when it comes out over here, I think it would work out the same, even with the delivery charge. So yeah, so it works out about the same anyway, even if I was buying it from here. But obviously, if the exchange rate is really good, then you get, you're getting it cheaper anyway. So I'm praying that we get a really good exchange rate and I can get bulk orders. But I'm doing that bulk order in January, February, and March, and then by March, when the last issue comes out, I will just get that last issue, and then it's done. So I'll finish around probably the end of March. They will finish it around the start of March, but I will finish the Alien build when they finish it in France nearabouts. And that's the same for the Robocop as well. So the Robocop's going to start back up again in January. Just because with me working at the moment from an office and getting stuff and all that sort of stuff, and Christmas coming up, it's just easier to focus on a few things over lots of everything else. So that's why I do it. Is that under €100? Include package or without? Includes packaging. Yeah, that's how I've always done it. When I normally always order, the most I've ever ordered is 8 issues, and with postage, that came to like €98. So yeah, and I normally order 6 or 7 issues, when I can, sort of thing, and when I can remember. And it's always under €100 for the 6 or 7 issues. But when it comes to doing my bulk orders for them, I will still keep it under €100, and obviously just do one order and then another order on the same day, and do it that way. It would save on the postage, but like Remix was saying, there, you could get stung with imports, and I don't want that. So yeah. When the Alien build finishes, will it be removed from the site like the Iron Man one has? Right. Okay. I found out about this. So I saw the Iron Man one on there. Okay. And then it got removed. So the impression is it will stay on the site. I think it's 2 or 3 months after it finishes its run. So once it gets to 100 issues, I think it's on there for another 3 months, and then it's removed. They do it so you can grab the bits and the issues that you need before they remove it. But yeah, it's not, they don't get to 100 and then remove the whole thing. I think it's a couple of months. I think it's 3 months after it finishes, they then remove all the issues. It's really interesting one, because I've always wondered what happens then, because they must have stock of these issues. I don't know why they don't just keep them on there, but they do remove them. I don't know whether they just send them back, or there must be a warehouse full of these issues or something. I don't really know, but yes, the issues. I think the timing is about 3 months after it finishes, which the Alien finishes in March, so it'll be March, April, May, June, July time. I think it'll be. I would say it gets removed from there. That is why I'm going to build it and buy the bulk issues to get it all up to scratch, because I've kind of fallen back on it a little bit, and I want to be up to speed with it and finish it in March. Not only that, that will give me you know, that will give me, that will release funds for me to get Optimus Prime. That's only if it gets released though. And with everything that's going on, I don't know if that will happen, but I'm hopeful. I know a lot of people said, "What about a Tumbler?" Yeah, I did say if I ever did a Batmobile, it would be the Tumbler. And then Hachette goes, "Oh, we're going to do the Tumbler." I was like, "They must be listening to my channel." But I did say that I would do that. But now looking at it in terms of vehicles and stuff like that, I no. Just because I want to concentrate on other things, you know, like the Hornby train set and the builds that I've got going at the minute, and with space and anything else. I mean, you know, you never know what's going to come out. It's a really strange thing because you never know what's around the corner, what they're going to release. They're never really forthcoming about stuff coming out. So yeah. They are on issue 80 at the moment in France. Yep. So it's another 20 weeks, which I think takes up to March, I believe. Yeah. So yeah, it'd be finished. I'll tell you what, it's come around really quick. I didn't realise, you know, I'm nearly halfway through this now. So the issues that I've got here up to 52. So I'm halfway through the build, but they're obviously a lot closer than I am. But like I said, once January comes around, I'll be ordering the bulk lot. So the channel will probably get bombarded with stuff like that and Hornby stuff and all that sort of stuff. So it's going to be a really quite a good little run that I'm going to have next year with stuff coming out. But until then, we've just got another month. I can't believe I'm saying it. Got another month left of this year. We've got this month, and then obviously next month, 2 months if you want to count this year, and then we start fresh. But it's all what's going to happen. I don't really know what's happening. But you know, I will still be here. There will still be content on my channel, whatever happens. So we're all just looking forward to stuff at the minute and everything else. But yeah, it's got very quiet. But like I said, once I find out information on Partworks, I will let everybody know that as soon as it comes out. I know, you know, I keep an eye on the on what comes out in the newsstands. It's been very quiet on there. No test builds, so it doesn't look like there's going to be any tests this month, which is interesting. 2023 will be an interesting year. It will be, yeah, definitely, yeah, because cool. There's quite a lot of things going on in 2023 for us anyway on this channel. So the Alien finishes, the Dodge Charger finishes, RoboCop finishes next year. I start the Hornby train set. So there's a lot happening. But yeah, there's a lot happening next year on the channel with what's happening, with what's finishing, what's starting. It's going to be really interesting to see what Partworks come out. I can't wait. It may change my life. Do you know what Fanhome will be doing when Iron Man finishes next month? No, I don't. But they have messaged. I did message them to ask if what's on them. They said they've got plans for a lot of builds and just and then they just said it will be announced. But I don't really know what's due to come out for an. I have been hearing someone did mention that the RoboCop build is going to come out in January through Fanhome. I don't know about that. I mean, they're on issue 56, aren't they, over in France at the minute? So they're quite far ahead. So it would seem right. Normally, when a build comes out from D'Agostini in France, Normally are in there around issue 50 or 60 mark. That's when they bring out it for us guys through Fan Home. But I have heard they're also bringing out the Millennium Falcon again. They're going to reissue that, but I don't know. I know they're going to bring something out. I just don't know what at this stage. So yeah, as soon as I find out, I'll let you know. I'll let everyone know. Can you get a display case for the T800? I'm sure you can. I don't know anyone who's doing it, but I'm almost certain that you can get a display case for it. But I don't know where from though. But like I say, I'm almost certain you can. It might be worth looking into doing something like building it yourself with sort of plexiglass or something like that. Also, as well as keeping the price down on it, because I think a display case for something like that would be expensive. You know, when you look at the prices for, say, the DeLorean or something like that, you're looking at like 200 quid. I think it's around £300 or £400 for the Routemaster. So it could be a fair price, I think. So it might be worth looking into doing one yourself. And not doing a base, but doing just the box that goes over and incorporates the base sort of thing. That might be interesting. But I'm more than certain that you can, but I don't know where. Popped in to say hi. Hi, Greg. How's it going? Sorry, I missed it. Just got home from it. That's all right, mate. Don't worry. You can always catch up because I'm not going to be too much longer on here now because of you. I'm joking. Well, yeah. Yeah. Got a glass to do something like an aquarium and get some wooden base. Yeah. There's a lot of different ways you can do a display base. But it's an interesting one. I don't know. I've never really looked at the T800 and gone at the display case. It should, I mean, really, it would look really cool in a display case, I think, with the lights and stuff on it. But it would be a difficult one to do, I think. Yeah. But anyway, look, I'm going to leave it there for the night. Thank you so much, guys, for coming on and chatting like we always do. Obviously, I'll be back next week. Normal time, normal space, discussing normal things. So Monday, that's going to be on the channel. I'm hoping Tuesday will be the Alien build, but that will definitely be this week. And then we'll have the Dodge Charger and the Disney Dollhouse and a few talking videos. I think I'm going to do a Hornby discuss video, Star Trek one as well. It also depends on if I pick up some stuff from B&M from Eaglemoss. So there's stuff coming on the channel. No worries about that. But I've really loved the time we speak on a Sunday. It's really nice to get stuff out and to chat and stuff like that. Hopefully next week we might have some information on new builds. We can only hope. But anyway, thank you all for coming. I've been Kev. And as always, we'll see you at the next video. See you later. Thanks for coming.